Hey everyone, today I will be going over the inappropriate scenes from the movie Cuties. In the interest of keeping this video short but impactful, I have limited the scene compilations to specific scenes where they had the child actors do things that I believe to be highly inappropriate and disturbing. I will only be using pixelated stills. The stills that are pixelated are the ones in which the child actors are scantily cladded or doing acts that are meant to be seen as sexual. I will just describe what is happening in each pixelated still so that you can understand. This way, I can still show you proof of what I'm talking about without further spreading images of what the child actors were made to do in the movie. The movie starts with our protagonist, Amy, and her mother in a religious gathering. After the gathering, she goes downstairs to the laundry room because she hears this loud dance music, and that is where she meets Angelica. So Angelica in this scene, she's busy doing her laundry while dancing to the loud music. And in this scene, we see her wearing a very revealing crop top. It has a really low V neckline, and she's wearing like really tight fake leather pants in this scene. So in this scene, Angelica, she's seen wearing something that looks basically like a bra. It's basically a bra. And she's also wearing a short skirt that just like barely goes up to her mid-thighs. And then we get to this scene where you can see the four girls, the four cuties. So from the left we have Jazz, and then we have the girl in the yellow dress, Kumba. Their skirts are very short. The skirts barely reach mid-thigh. Same thing with the dresses they're wearing. Barely reach mid-thigh. But if you see all the other teenagers around them, they're wearing jeans, t-shirts, hoodies, very appropriate things for school. A few more things happened, and at school, the four girls made fun of the way she dressed, so she got angry. She went home and she stole her little brother's green shirt, and the shirt is very small on her. And we are greeted by this scene of Amy struggling to put the green shirt on while she's only wearing her bra. Like, why? I don't understand why we need to see this is too much. Like, why? And then in the next scene we have her scrolling through Instagram on her dad's phone that she stole. Okay, and she sees Angelica, and Angelica in this picture, she's wearing the red crop top with the low v-neck, and her belly is like exposed in this picture. Okay, so in the next scene, here we have the characters watching a porn video and talking about the male genitalia. The actor's up and it's like a balloon, and she goes to Yasmin and she says, "Hey Yasmin, this is a boob for you," right? And she wants to put it on Yasmin, and then after that Kumba puts it under her own shirt, pretending that it's her own boob. And then she asks the others if they want some milk. Like, Jesus Christ. And the other girls are like, "No, what are you doing? That's a condom. You can get like HIV from blowing that thing, or STDs or something." And then they're like, "Oh, ew, you're like full of bacteria or something." And then Kumba's like crying. And then we go to the next scene. And in the next scene, they're trying to disinfect her from any sort of STDs in her mouth that she might have got from blowing up that condom. So yeah, here's another very weird scene where all the girls are gathered around her, and here Kumba is like sitting down in a chair, and they're like opening her mouth, and they're squirting soap into her open mouth, and they're taking a sponge and basically just shoving the sponge on her tongue, in her mouth. Yep, that's just so disturbing. And then, and they shoved an electric toothbrush into her mouth, and then you can hear her making these like gagging, groaning noises. Yeah, not great at all. Okay, And then we are greeted with this other disturbing scene. She starts putting her fingers in her mouth and twerking, and then she lays down on the floor with her fingers in her mouth and her butt raised in the air, and she moves her she moves her butt up and down repeatedly, and so on. Let's move to the next scene. This is just uncomfortable. Okay, so in the next scene, okay, the girls, they've decided to let her join the group. Okay, so now Amy is teaching them the new moves, twerking moves that she learned from the videos to help them win the contest. So here you can see her like teaching, I guess, teaching Jess how to do it. And here we can see more shots, more close-ups on the children's butts, because I don't know why. And then like here we see Amy like slapping Kumba's butt for reasons. And then here we how to do that twerking move, like why? Okay, and then the next scene is, okay, so in the next scene, Amy's trying to teach the girls how to be sexy by putting like fingers in their mouth, right? And then here's another one, another disturbing scene where she's like, for some reason, she's like, yeah, open your mouth, Kumba, and like stick your tongue out. And then like here we have a scene where they're all gathered together with their fingers in their mouths and like posing really weirdly. And here we have, yeah, Kumba like, I don't know, like touching her body and stuff, like, oh god. And here we have a close-up, like a shot, like why this angle? Why? I don't understand why it has to be this angle. Like, it's just disturbing. I don't have to explain this. Okay, next. Okay, then here they are at the auditions. Okay, they're back to wearing crop tops and short skirts and tight jeans. So in the next scene, okay, they were caught by security entering like this laser tag place without buying tickets. So wearing a pink crop top that reveals her shoulders and her stomach, and the camera is like going from down from her pants all the way up her body, like very slowly. And then we get to the scene where she's seen, like literally she's seen twerking for the security guards, twerking for adults. Yeah, this is just so disgusting. So she's twerking for these two adult men, right? And then you can see the guards, they're just like scanning her, they're like looking at her, like he's looking at her body and he's like, I don't know, like he's licking his lips or something. Ugh, so disgusting. Here they're shooting a dance video for Instagram. Here you can see Jess on the left side, she's sticking her finger in her mouth. And here is another picture of Jess lifting her leg up into the air while wearing extremely short shorts. Nothing inappropriate about that. And then here we see a scene with Amy and Angelica. So Amy's like raising her leg and Angelica is slapping her butt. And here is another one of those disturbing scenes where they keep focusing on these actors' butts. So here's another scene where she's like twerking for the camera and they're just her jacket, and I was like, where is this going? I was like, what is happening right now? So yeah, she continues to unzip her jacket and she's just wearing her crop top and she's in her jeans, and then she started to unzip and unbutton her jeans, and I was like, no, why are we going here? Why? So she unbuttoned her jeans And her father was like, hell no, what are you doing? Like, what, Jesus, kid. So, and he was like, no, like, give me my phone, stop being weird. So they struggled for a bit, and she took his phone and she ran to the bathroom and locked the door. Then, I'm not sure how it suddenly leads to this next disturbing scene, but she starts taking off her jeans and her panties. And then we have this disturbing scene where she takes her father's phone and she appears to be taking a photo of her genitalia. And then she uploads it to Instagram. Okay, moving on. Next scene. The next day at school, like, I think everybody saw the picture that she posted last night, right? And then we have this little boy coming in and slapping her on her butt and then calling her like a slut or something along those lines. Yeah. In the next scene, like, her mom found out. I'm not sure, I don't know. So they started throwing some liquid on her, and she's just dressed in like she's just dressed in a tank top and her underwear. Yep. So they're spraying water on her, and she starts to go into like this mental breakdown, I guess you could say. She seemed to be like possessed in this scene. Like, they had her twerking in this scene. Like, she was twerking, basically. She was twerking a lot, like she was possessed by some kind of demon or something. And then we have this very disgusting scene, like, she's just twerking, moving her hips up and down, sideways and such. It was just really disturbing. Like, oh, what the hell? This is not appropriate at all for this. Like, why? You're making a child do these things, you know? It would be different if it was an adult who could actually agree that you want to do this, but like a child, Jesus Christ. I'm sorry if I don't sound coherent throughout this video. It's just really difficult for me to string my thoughts together on this whole debacle. Okay, let's go to the next scene. So yeah, they're at the train tracks, and yeah. Yep, she's dressed in crop tops, shorts. They're all pretty much dressed in crop tops and shorts. Then we go to the final scene, a very long scene placed at her crotch. And this scene, they were like sliding down onto the floor, and then their hands were like swiping up from their crotch and onto their stomach. Yeah, like very, very appropriate dance moves for 11-year-olds. Okay, and the next here we have Amy like bending down, showing her butt to the crowd and judges. And here we have Kumba and Angelica slapping their butts while they're twerking. And here we have all the members of the group on the floor doing that pelvic thrust movement repeatedly. Then we have this scene with Amy where she's basically posing like this to the crowd. And then we have this where Kumba and Angelica are just spreading their legs wide open while wearing like extremely short shorts that are just basically underwear at this point, to be honest. And then here we have Angelica. She's like really strutting down the stage, right? And then she strikes this pose. Yep. And then she's kind of like crawling on the floor. And then they're doing this. My God. Okay, so here, yeah, they're doing like, they're putting their fingers in their mouth And then they're putting their hands on their crotch and they're dragging their hand up from their crotch to the rest of their body. Okay, and then here another scene where they're putting their finger in their mouth. Another scene where they're doing that again and they're posing like so. And that's it. Okay, so just comment down below what you guys think about this whole thing. Is it child pornography or isn't it? I'm signing out. See y'all in the next video.